Hey y'all, so today in C Church, we are going to spring clean on pussy. This is what the playlist is about, right? And to honor that, I'm going to be wearing my witch hat because I've also been healing my relationship with my inner witch and what is known as the witch wound. And for those of y'all that are healing your relationship with your inner witch or just curious about it, one of the things that used to be done to men and women was there was a torture device called the pair of anguish where they would like have them sit in front of a group of people in public on like a searing hot like metal like contraption thingy so it would spear their pussy or their anus. So I wear this hat to hold space for my inner witch as I go into the spring clean because anytime I do a spring clean on this channel, it is actually me doing a spring clean. So I would like to hold space that way for myself. But that way so you understand why there's like a little witch hat on me. So anyway, spring cleaning is a mental emotional exercise and technique that is wonderful for clearing out your mental and emotional bodies on subjects and topics that have a lot of emotional or energetic charge to them. And the reason you use spring clean is because let's say you have a desire that you're calling in, let's say, okay, well, we're calling in like, let's say we're calling in something related to like a new job. And you are like, well, I hate this job so much. And you keep talking about how much you hate your job and you keep venting to all your friends about it. Then you keep going to happy hour and just like venting more and coping with numbing devices, right? So you're in this cycle with your job. So then when you spring clean, the concept is that you're being witnessed by either another person, in this case, it would be myself on YouTube with your higher power also witnessing, or you're spring cleaning with yourself and your higher power as a witness, or you're spring cleaning with another person as a witness. And the point of it being that you're being witnessed, and each thing that you actualize and acknowledge is kind of just vacuumed out of your energy field, out of your mental emotional body. So that way, as it's like vacuumed out, the thing that you're calling in, like a new job, can get closer to you. Because the thing is, when you have all this junk, like basically yelling at the universe, like I hate this job and I don't want this job and blah blah. You have all this energy that's focused on like what you don't like, that it's pushing away the thing that you would like. And so when you spring clean and actualize and acknowledge, you vacuum it out, which makes way for it to get closer to you, the thing that you're calling in. And so you can spring clean on pretty much anything. I suggest spring cleaning on something that is 1 to 3 words long. That way the title's not too long because it is done with a timer, which you never want to spring clean longer than 15 minutes because then it kind of puts you back in like a thought cycle, which then defies the point of the spring clean. I find that 3 minutes to 7 minutes tends to be the sweet spot. You can experiment with it yourself, either by yourself or with another person. If you do want to spring clean with another person, maybe jot down the script after you've done this video once, go back and jot down the script so that way you can take it to someone else. And the timer is just to like signal safety in a sense for your subconscious, knowing like, okay, we're going into these like nitty gritty feelings and stuff. And once that timer's off, I get to pull out of it. Okay, I could do this. I could do this. It's not going to go on forever, right? And then when the timer goes off, there's this thing called pulls. You can have 1 pull, 2 pulls, 3 pulls, 4 pulls, however many pulls you want. But basically, the timer goes off, the pulls begin, and the pulls just symbolize that it's time to wrap up the spring clean container. And then in wrapping up the spring clean container, then you're able to close and get everything out that you wanted or were able to get out in that time with yourself or another. And so for example, like I tend to on YouTube more often than not do 3 minutes and 3 pulls, but you could be like, I'm gonna do 4 minutes and 2 pulls, or I want to do 7 minutes and 3 pulls. Play with it and see what works for you. Spring cleaning usually is done with a poker face. If you're doing it with another person, it's best not to make facial expressions or like emphasize anything or empathize with anything out loud because it might compromise the integrity and safety of the container. Some people are very hyper attuned to people's faces, and if you smile something reassuring, someone might think it's like condescending, or maybe you kind of like chuckle and because you see it in your life, but they don't know that you're chuckling at yourself. They might think you're chuckling at them, and then it compromises it. So just try to have a poker face. And then sometimes you might find the subconscious is not used to being engaged with in this way, so it might draw some blanks. And if it does draw some blanks, just be like, I have nothing. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I have nothing. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I hate the word pussy. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Like usually after you do a couple of like I have nothing, then the next layer reveals itself. Also, being that the topics that I spring clean with on my channel are topics that tend to be like spread throughout our life, there's usually a lot of charge to them, which means you can go back and revisit and spring clean as many times as you'd like. Meanwhile, since there's a lot of charge to them, there's also a lot of like similar situations and scenarios that build up and emotions that build up in the mental emotional bodies. And so if you come across like, for example, thank you, what do you have on your pussy? I hate my pussy. Thank you, what do you have on your pussy? I hate my pussy. Thank you, what do you have on your pussy? I hate my pussy because one time when I was first becoming sexually active, the guy I was dating made fun of my pubic hair. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? So like usually if you say the same thing like a couple times, the next layer reveals itself. Also, if you find yourself stuck in like I have nothing, like you're just totally drawing blanks, engage with your subconscious and remember like your last thing that you said. So it's like if it's like I have nothing, and the last thing you said was maybe like I hate my pussy. Be like, why do I hate my pussy? Or how did I start hating my pussy? What led me to hate my pussy? And in so doing that, then you're able to like approach from a new angle, and the subconscious will supply you answers because it sees you're genuinely interested and it wants to support you. And so there's that. And then you don't ever want to go into huge long stories about something. You want to try to make it digestible and kind of like a surgery. Like when surgeons go in, they don't go in with like a claw and chunk out everything to get to like the organ they're working on. They go in and they make really fine cuts and they use really specific instruments and they little by little get in there and then they little by little come out, which is like a clean. You little by little get in there and you little by little pull out, right? Or kind of like a disposable camera. You only get so many shots in the camera, so like you gotta make them count, right? And a spring clean, you have a timer, so you only get so many. Like, thank you. What do you have before the timer goes off, right? So you want to like try to make it as concise as possible. Also, I find when you go into like storytelling mode or get caught up in a story, that it's not as clean of a clean as it could be, because it's harder for like the subconscious to release all the gunk. So like the wrong way to do it would be, for example, thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Oh my gosh, I remember when I first started having sex and how nobody told me I was going to queef and I was like so embarrassed and then my boyfriend was laughing at me, so then I chose to laugh at me and it made me feel really uncomfortable and then it made me like not want to have sex because I was scared of making that sound. So see, that's a whole story. Wrong way to do it. The correct way to do it would be like, thank you, what do you have on your pussy? I remember when I first started having sex, like I was really appalled when I first heard myself queef. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? My boyfriend at that time laughed at me and it made me feel really humiliated. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? It made me really self conscious to have sex again because I was terrified of queefing again. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? So you see how like I break it down into bite-sized digestible pieces, right? So then you do that. What else? What else? Oh, you'll always close with a trinity, which the point of a trinity is like when you go into a clean, you're getting out all the muck, all the ick, all the stuff you wouldn't ever say to someone because you're taught not to express your emotions. Most of us, it doesn't matter if you're in a woman's body or not. Most of us are in the man box in the sense we're not allowed or taught to feel our feelings. Like everybody knows you don't want to be seen as the angry woman, Lord forbid, because that's so unladylike, right? But really we have anger. And so we have to get it out too. Just like men, like nobody wants to be the crying man, but men have grief. Like they have to get it out too. So spring cleaning is like really, really useful for acknowledging stuff and moving it along. And sometimes as you're acknowledging stuff and moving along, you might have like a wave of grief or rage or anxiety like stir within you. And then you might find that like after the spring clean, you just need a little extra support going, like moving out of the clean. So I will attach a video at the end. It's how to swamp. Swamping is a dance practice that helps your body metabolize the emotions that you just cleaned on, metabolize what you're working through. Or you could swamp just to swamp. I do both. swamping really, really helps just keep things moving though. But anyways, the point of the Trinity is you go in after you have cleaned. The Trinity is the closing part of the practice, and you do a brag, which is what you're celebrating. Mama Gena teaches women are taught to relate through victimization instead of celebration, which is so true and was so mind-blowing to me when I heard it. I was like, whoa, I've totally been a victim for a lot of my life. And then so instead you celebrate, and you celebrate ideally with your partner, and you'll be like, I brag, which then is bringing like, you're normalizing celebrating your wins instead of like being a victim, which I would much rather celebrate my wins than be a victim. And I would much rather have someone celebrate their wins with me than have them be a victim. Like it's more enjoyable. It feels good. So you'll be like, I brag. You list your brags. It could be like 1 brag, 2 brags, 3 brags, and then you'll list a gratitude or a couple of gratitudes and be like, I am grateful for. And then a desire. And with the desire, you'll say, I desire. And you'll state your desire. It can be as like figured out and detailed as possible, or it can be really basic because maybe you're learning what your desires are. The more you clean, the more clear your desires get also. And so then you'll do that. And sometimes some people, like, they get a bit emotional after spring clean, and they'll be like, no, I don't want to close with the Trinity. And I highly encourage you to just face off with that shadow aspect of yourself and celebrate with the Trinity. You deserve to celebrate yourself. You deserve to elevate yourself. Yeah, feel your feels, sure. I'm not saying bypass, but definitely close with the Trinity, because that's what the spring clean is you are feeling your feelings, right? So there's that. And then make sure if you ever spring clean with another person that you both understand everything is confidential. Meaning, like, just like when the garbage men take the trash out after you've spring cleaned your house, like, do you see the trash again? No. So in the case of spring cleaning, do you talk about the trash again? No. And so yeah, there's that. And I think that covers everything. If anything comes to mind throughout the clean, I'll share it. I feel like for the sake of Pussy Church today, and honoring Pussy, I will make this container 4 minutes and 2 pulls. But like I said, most of my videos are 3 minutes and 3 pulls. I feel like this is a very charged topic, and this channel deserves to have that space held for your pussy, my pussy, and all the other pussies out there that will gravitate towards this channel through the co-creation process. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to spring clean with yourself. So like, this is what I do all the time. I will follow the script with myself in the shower, when I'm bike riding, laying in bed as I'm waking up. I find spring cleaning is really helpful when I'm going to bed, because I find when I have a hard time going to bed, it's because my mind is racing. So if I just start spring cleaning in my mind, I fall asleep spring cleaning, and I fall asleep much quicker than if I didn't spring clean, because it's just me emptying out my mental emotional bodies at the end of the day. So yeah. Oh, and then that's the other thing. Whenever you're spring cleaning, make sure you're in an environment where you will not be disturbed, because this is a practice that does work with the psyche, and the psyche can be a very like sensitive space to be in. So when you're spring cleaning on these really nitty gritty things, you might find that you trigger more easily in the psyche. So just make sure that you save yourself having that trigger moment or that moment of discomfort by spring cleaning in a safe space. I think that is everything. Oops. And I guess my witch hat will come off for now. I think my inner witch is ready to clean. All right, so, oh, my head cracked, so something popped into place during that. That's great. All right, so I'm going to set my timer. I said I'm going to do 4 minutes this time, right? So, okay. And then when I spring clean with you, it's going to be 4 minutes, and she was awesome. So this is a demonstration of how to spring clean with yourself, with your higher power and your soul as your witness. Sister Goddess Poppy, are you ready to begin your spring clean on your pussy for a total of 4 minutes and 2 pulls? Yes. Thank you. Starting timer. What do you have on your pussy? I have a lot of shame and discomfort. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I have been embarrassed over the years when my pussy has been dry, because apparently she didn't like who I was trying to sleep with. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Queefing is embarrassing to me. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I had an ex-boyfriend that really, really shamed and degraded me in my earlier years of being sexually active. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I still remember the first time I um, shaved my pubes and how uncomfortable it was. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I was taught to think pussies are like not to be talked about. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I feel like pussies and cocks are just kind of like gross and funny to look at. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Nobody really taught me about like genitalia growing up, so like it made me really uncomfortable when I first became sexually active to see like someone's dick or like see my pussy. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I was watching Young Sheldon last night and the little girl started her period and the dad was like so uncomfortable about it. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And like that's such a problem. Like so many people shame pussies for being awesome at cleaning themselves out. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I used to be ashamed of my period. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I used to be ashamed of like the smell and like the like way the blood was like kind of gooey and coagulated. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And then I used to like wear tampons for like way too long because like I was embarrassed to be on my period and then I didn't want to like I didn't have time to change them sometimes because I was working long shifts and yeah. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I have not had the greatest respect or love or admiration for my pussy. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I still cringe when I hear the word pussy. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I also cringe when I hear the word witch. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I hate when people call me a witch. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And I only hate it because I don't want to be put in that spotlight and have someone persecute me. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And like people still get killed for being witches in other countries, so that scares me to be called a witch. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And like there's like that fear stored in the memory of my cells and my pussy of like what happened back in the day to other women's pussies during the witch trials. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Oh my god, pussy and witch is so triggering to my body. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I feel sad for the women out there that will never have love or respect or admiration for their pussy. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I remember going to pussy boot camp and feeling like I was in a secret society and it was so thrilling and exhilarating to me. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? My siblings were like weirded out by my YouTube channel, so they decided to make it their business to tell my mom about my pussy church playlist. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? And so they blocked me and my bio mom shamed me and my other mom for a little bit we like butted heads. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? It's not cool to be an empowered woman. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? I don't want to catch someone's attention that is feeling threatened by me and have them shame me for fear of all that work I've been putting into loving myself just crumbling and being for nothing. Thank you. That one made me a little goofy. Thank you. So the timer went off. Now I go to the next part. This is your first of two polls. What do you have on your pussy? My pussy, when gazing at her in the mirror, is truly a beautiful and exquisite work of God and Goddess that I wish I had become better acquainted with in my earlier years from the space of the heart that I am at now. Thank you. This is your second poll. What do you have on your pussy? I am terrified of giving birth to a baby for fear of my pussy not recovering and me becoming very resentful towards my husband and lashing out at him. Thank you. This concludes your spring clean on your pussy. It has been an honor and a pleasure holding space for you. Would you like to close with the Trinity? Yes, I brag that I spring cleaned on my pussy on YouTube, which takes a lot of courage. And I brag that I have continued with my pussy church playlist regardless of how my family looks at me and treats me. And I brag that my pussy and I are evolving in our relationship, and I'm becoming more harmonious within myself with my masculine and feminine polarities. And I see that in my relationship with my pussy. And I brag that I've gotten comfortable not shaving. And I brag that I've also become very versed in the language of my pussy, and when she's happy about something, or when she's expressing something physically, or when she just needs a moment to herself. And I'm grateful to be developing the understanding that I have been developing with my pussy over this last year and several months. And I'm grateful that she is not nearly as irritated as she was a year ago and the years leading up to a year ago. I'm grateful for all the positive shifts and transformation going on in my life. I'm grateful to be feeling more empowered and confident and safe as a woman. And I'm grateful for the courage of my inner witch to show up today in this pussy spring clean. And I desire that other women begin to love and heal their relationship with their pussies. And in that healing of the relationship with their pussies, I desire that they have a support system around them, or at least within them, and with their connection with their higher power, so that they can feel encouraged and cheered on in their healing journey. And I desire that more of the men in the world honor and respect a woman and her pussy, instead of like cowering from it and resorting to bullying her for being a woman. Well bragged, beautiful gratitude, and so it shall be, or something even better and wetter than your wildest dreams. Yay! And when I do this, it's like little pussy sparkles of light, because it's my desires. So it's like meeting the desires and bringing them into the universe through co-creation. And we do end even better and wetter than your wildest dreams, because sometimes we have a really focused desire, but when you add that even better and wetter than your wildest dreams at the end of it, it makes way for something like even cooler than what you're envisioning, which is really cool to surrender to the co-creation process in that way. Um, Now I'm going to go ahead and hold space for you and yours. Which also, if you do enjoy the spring clean container, please let me know how it goes for you in the comments. And then if you'd like me to make any spring cleaning topics, um, please leave them in the comments, and I'll make a list of the topics that catch my attention, that I'm in resonance with. And I will make another series of spring cleaning videos next year at this time. I think I'm just going to continue with doing spring cleaning videos around springtime, releasing them from spring through the summer. So feel free to pop in any ideas you have in there. All right. Get my timer for you. Okay. Sister Goddess, are you ready to begin your spring clean on your pussy for a total of 4 minutes and 2 pulls? I'm going to hear you say yes. Starting the timer. Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. I don't know if you can hear it here with the noise software, but the alarm went off. This is your first of two pulls. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. This is your second pull. What do you have on your pussy? Thank you. This concludes your spring clean on your pussy. It has been an honor and a pleasure holding space for you. Would you like to close the Trinity? I hear you say yes. What do you brag? What are you celebrating? Yes, oh brag. Awesome. And what is your gratitude? What is something you're grateful for? Beautiful gratitude. Those are wonderful. And what do you desire? Say, I desire so it shall be, or something even better and wetter than your wildest dreams. Well done. And you have now completed your first spring clean on your pussy here in Pussy Church. I totally favorite frame you showing up in this container and approaching your pussy through a loving lens as you pleasure research through spring cleaning here with me today. Feel free to use this container as many times as you need. Just fast forward through the video and find the part where the demo starts, or where the demo ends and the part for you begins. And if you need to swamp or feel emotional, make sure to click on the video that I've linked at the end of the video, so that way you can learn how to swamp and you'll just be like, I set the intention to swamp to my pussy, and let your body like rage it out, breathe it out, and get back in its turn on. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing y'all next year for my spring cleaning series. Be well.